Hello, one and all. Welcome to Rambling RunOff. I am your host, Robert Rios, here to you today to give you the sports news I think you need to hear and should hear. It's pretty good. We got a lot to say here at Rambling RunOff. So I hope you guys are sitting relaxed, comfortable, or in your car chilling. Make sure you got your seatbelt on. And yeah, you got two hands on the steering wheel and you're chilling, taking a good drive. Maybe you're coming back from work or going to work, whatever you're doing. But yes, we do got a lot of sports to talk about today. And with me, as always, I guess now, we got Mr. Danny Tan. Danny, say what's up to the people.
What up?
Yes. We got a lot to unpack. So on today's programming, we are going to be talking the NBA Finals with the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA Finals. So congratulations to Denver for their first ever championship. We'll be going over that. Then next up, we're going to be going over the UCL Final, UEFA Champions League Final that just took place, with Manchester City taking the honors as the victor. And then we also have another topic to speak about within there with, I guess you could say, our soccer section with one Lionel Messi. So make sure you stick around for that. And then the warm-up. Have you guys ever heard of a reverse boycott? Well, the Oakland A's are trying to do that. So we're going to go into detail a little bit about that, and we'll hear what Danny has to say. And then as always, we got the rundown where we talk about whatever other stuff we haven't spoken about. So make sure you stick around towards the end to hear us ramble about that. But yes, we got a lot to unpack, Danny. But first, how have you been? What you been up to?
I've been good. Not been up to much. Something that we both did this weekend. Went fishing. Pretty good shit, huh?
No, yeah. I caught a fish.
Yeah.
Your friend caught a fish. You didn't catch a fish, though.
I did not catch a fish, but I'm going to claim my friend's fish as my own because I taught him. He caught a massive tilapia. Probably one of the biggest tilapia I've ever seen in my life. But, coming out of the lake that we fished it out of, it looked like gangly and sickly. It was like ghost white. It's biggest, but one of the worst tilapia I've ever seen. So we tossed that thing back. But, yeah, big catch. I'm claiming it as my own. You heard it here first. That's my fish, not yours.
I also caught a fish.
Yeah, you almost
not
blinded
as
a
big as
fish.
Yours. I didn't do it on purpose, obviously.
Yeah, you didn't.
It's fishing. What are you going to do?
Yeah. I salvaged the fish. The hook had gone through its eye, but I was able to get it out, and the eye was fine, and it went back swimming on its happy little way. So, we had a good weekend fishing. And I'm excited. I get this upcoming Monday off for Juneteenth, so got a little 3-day weekend coming up. Excited for that.
Ooh, nice. Maybe we should go fishing on Monday.
Maybe, yeah. Actually, it's Father's Day weekend coming up, so happy Father's Day to everybody out there. Say your thanks to your dads, or if you are a dad, pat yourself on the back. And,
happy Father's Day, everybody.
Yeah, happy Father's Day. And what else? My brother's going to graduate from college next week. That should be exciting. That's about it for me. What about you, Robert?
I haven't been doing much myself. I just celebrated 3 years with my girlfriend. 3-year relationship.
Ooh, congratulations.
So that's fun.
Moving on up in the world.
So, shout out to my girlfriend.
Shout
I
out.
love you.
God, you had to end it like that. Come on, man.
Why
not on the
bro?
sports pod.
It's cheesy, bro, but it works.
All right.
But it's been pretty good. So 3 years going.
3 years going
And,
strong. Many more to you and yours.
Thank you. But Danny, did you happen to see a UFC fight by any chance?
Yes, I did. Are we going to talk about that now, or are we going to talk about it in the warm-up?
Yeah, really quick, how was that for you?
It was a sloppy fight. Aldana, she really did not give herself a shot. She kind of froze up, which is like, I guess, the mentality of someone who's fighting the defending champ. You want to survive and you want to make it to the end, but as soon as you get past round 3, you're really kicking yourself in the foot for not throwing as as a striker and staying on your feet the whole time. You're really never gonna make it to decision and win. But yes, I did. I watched the fight of Nunez versus Irene Aldana. Yeah, it was really interesting. Amanda Nunez retired with her 2 UFC championships after successfully defending the championship, I believe, 8 times. Yeah, interesting fight. Aldana, I'm sure she's on the up and up. She's gonna recover from this. Really touching moment with Nunez, her wife, her daughter, her jiu-jitsu training coach. It was really cool to see. Were you able to catch it, Robert?
No, I was just asking because I saw it on your Instagram.
Oh, okay. Damn. All right.
I was like, I know you better not forget about no UFC fight.
Yeah. No. I mean, it was
sports podcast.
It's a bit on the boring side because, it was so almost stalemate-ish, but not really. Nunez was throwing, connecting, landing takedowns, even though in the beginning, Aldana was successfully repelling those takedowns, but she just really froze up. Her coach is screaming at her to loosen up, just throw, let your hands go, use your training. We've trained for this. Give yourself a chance. But I think it was just the pressure and, the fear of being knocked out and embarrassed on a stage of that magnitude. It's tough. Hats off to both of them, but that was a good fight, I guess.
How did it end?
Decision, unanimous decision to Nunez. And then she walked over to Dana White, talked to him for a second, and then she put both of her belts on the floor of the ring, and then she looked like she was kind of flipping them off, but she was pointing at them, but her fingers were kind of in a weird position, but she was pointing wow, look at these on the floor, with all of her fingers out, but it kind of looked weird. And then she started crying, really touching moment, and then she announced her retirement.
No, that sounds great.
Yeah, pretty cool going out on top.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yep.
But moving on now, Danny, to get our main
to another championship.
Going out on top.
Exactly. Well, I don't know if these guys are going out on top. They still got a handful of years
left. They're
left.
on top right now.
Yeah, we're not going anywhere.
The NBA Finals have concluded.
Sadly, no more basketball, friends. No
I know.
more.
But congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. You are the NBA Finals champions. Is that how the commercials say it?
The 2022-23 NBA Finals champions. Denver Nuggets winning their first championship of franchise history behind their 2-time MVP, first-time NBA Finals MVP, Nikola Jokić.
Yeah, congrats to the Nuggets for proving me wrong, at least.
Okay.
That
Bro,
they
the
were
whole
going to win.
world knew they were going to win. You
No,
were
they did not,
insane.
dude.
Yes, you were insane.
Why?
They were such heavy favorites. It was almost a 98% chance for them to win at the beginning of Game 5. It was crazy.
What do you mean, bro? I mean,
Literally.
I think I know what it was. I think my mental was thinking that the Heat were as good as they were in 2019, 2020.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the Heat are always good.
No,
right?
yeah, I know, but I was expecting that team to show up. I was expecting the Jimmy Butler to take over,
Yeah.
which never came. But here's my thing. I think my psyche forgot that they were the 8th seed, and
Yep.
I think, just ran out of gas.
Yeah,
And
I definitely think Miami is going to look back on this. Jimmy Butler was injured. Tyler Hero got injured. They ran out of gas because their 2 older players, Kevin Love and Kyle Lowry, weren't meshing too much with the team. I think Kyle Lowry kind of started to mesh, and then Kevin Love, especially when he was starting, really showed that he's still got quite a bit left in him. But if they run it back with this team, I think they'll be definitely better than the 8 seed. I don't know about top 4. Jimmy Butler is definitely going to come back with a vengeance next season because he knows. I think he knows now that he has to have standout performances in the regular season, which he did this season, but like putting himself in the mindset a little bit more before this playoffs will do him better than turning it on and exhausting himself from the play-in all the way to the finals. You know, it's a mission. It's a marathon to get there, and I think, like you said, they were out of gas at the top, unfortunately. But, you know, there are a lot of great things to say. You know, like you said, they were the 8th seed coming in, the first play-in team to get to the NBA Finals. And they had a shot, and they didn't get swept. You know, they took a game. 3 of the games were pretty close, especially especially Game 4. This Game 5, you know, it wasn't, it wasn't a runaway game.
The final score is 94-89.
Yep.
If Butler would have taken a cleaner / better 3-point shot at the end of the game, I mean, I guess it would have been a tight ball game there. But, I mean, spoiler alert. So, yeah, 94-89 was the final score. Jimmy Butler takes a Hail Mary 3 for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, he had to. He had to take that 3.
There was like 10 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, but he's Jimmy Buckets. You know, no one else is going to take that shot.
Yeah, I know, but it was a contested 3, a really harsh contested 3-point shot with the hand, not even in his face. The defender's hands were like basically at the ball. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And even with a Stan Van Gundy was like, that was not the right shot. Like, that was abysmal. Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I mean, he had a good late showing. He had like about eight points.
Yeah, to finish with 21.
Well, he turned it on really good. I was like, all right, here you go. Like, if they're gonna win, you have to win now. I guess like I said, I guess you are kind of right. Like I said, you have to win now, but that was more desperation.
It was definitely desperation. Jimmy Butler, without his injury, I think would have been more aggressive, and that shot would have been open. You know, his threat to drive.
What was the knock that he picked up? His ankle?
What? Yeah, his ankle injury. Yeah, from Game 2 in the Knicks series, I believe. Game 1 in the Knicks series. Because he was out Game 2. But because his ankle was injured, you know, he's not as quick. He was not as aggressive driving to the rim. In this series, that shot would have been more open. You know, his jab step, it doesn't mean anything. Like, he's not blowing past people. He's not running to the rim with authority. There was a handful of times, you know, that you can see him get to the rim, and normally when he would explode up, and you know, run through whoever was there for a poster or just to get a shot up by the rim, he stopped short, turned around, looked for a pass. You know, that's not Jimmy. That's someone who was trying to drive and kick, but he didn't commit to either the drive and kick or get into the bucket. So it ends up being like an awkward, you know, screech to a halt, turn around, look for a pass, and then Denver decides if they can double or just smother his options, and then he takes a bad shot. But it is what it is.
It was very uncharacteristic.
Oh, most definitely. Even if Jimmy was healthy, I still think this Denver team would have won. Maybe they would have taken it to 6 games, but you know, I think this Denver team was more complete. You know, they had a lot of great pieces. They had a handful of pieces that they didn't even use, really, except for garbage time. Reggie Jackson, DeAndre Jordan. They still had Thomas Bryant, who I don't know where he's going to go now. They got a great rookie. I was
surprised to see DeAndre Jordan play in Game 5.
Yeah, in the garbage time, man.
It wasn't even garbage time. It was like the second quarter. I was like, the hell?
Oh.
I'm like, I didn't even know you were on the team.
You mean, early in the second quarter, just to give Nikola some some rest time.
He picked up those 2 fouls with Aaron Gordon.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, timeout. You guys are sitting down.
Yeah. You know, you're right. It was so quick because I remember most of the rest time being Denver playing Jeff Green as a small 5, and then running small ball. And then that's when Bam went on a small run. But yeah, you're right. DeAndre Jordan did play early in that fifth game.
I was like, I didn't even know you were here. I was like, I looked at the lineup. I was like, the hell?
Bruh, we talked about this like so long ago.
I forgot. I don't know, man. Like that's how like obscure he's been.
Yeah. But this Denver team has been so great. Jamal Murray has been great this entire playoff series. Nikola Jokić definitely earned that Finals MVP. If there was a playoff MVP, he would have won that as well.
Probably.
Role players like KCP, Michael Porter Jr. They just got great stories and great players who always contribute. A great rookie in Christian Braun, or
He
Bruce
hit some
Brown.
clutch shots towards the end as well.
Most definitely. It's just a great team overall. KCP now 2-time champ. Can you believe that?
I know, right? I was like,
Yeah.
telling my girlfriend, I was like, man, Danny's always so high on KCP.
Yeah, I mean
It's
he's
like-
great.
Then
He's a
why
great
the Lakers
defender.
get rid of him?
Yeah, why did the Lakers get rid of anyone else? Because LeBron said so. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, it was either
Le
that or
GM.
keep Westbrook. So
Yeah, I would have chosen to keep KCP for sure.
bro,
KCP and road
Anyways.
around. Come on.
come on, fool. Anyways, to hype up your boy Jokic, he has become the first player in history to lead the league in points with 600, rebounds 269, and assists with 190 in a single postseason. Not surprisingly, he won the Bill Russell Trophy as the NBA Finals MVP, an award that certainly has more meaning to him than the 2 overall MVPs he's won in 2021 and 22, and also the one that escaped him this past year. So, he's in high regards with the NBA greats right now, Danny.
Almost definitely. Everyone's giving him his flowers, which is well deserved.
I feel like so much so that people are like, should we not? I'm like, fool, just give him to him.
Yeah, I mean, there's some talk around the league saying he was robbed of MVP this season. You
I don't
can
think so.
argue it back and forth. I think Joel Embiid had a great regular season this year. Like I said during our MVP conversation talks, Jokic was my second to get the MVP to. I
Yeah.
feel like the Denver Nuggets were just a better team. They did absolutely everything right. What a great story for their 2 great players, Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr., who had career-ending surgeries and injuries, but to come back to win a title, and contribute massively to that title win, not just in the finals, but all along in the playoffs. It's been great, and this team is so young. It's not the youngest team in the league, but Jokic
like
is
experience-wise.
experience-wise. I think they're a bit battle tested. Jamal Murray is 26. I think Jokic is 27. They've got a lot of mileage left in this team. They're gonna be real scary next year as the defending champs. I wonder what moves are gonna be made in the offseason, but this team looks really good. Like I said, Reggie Jackson is still there. I think his contract is up at the end of the year. So is Thomas Bryant. They got a handful of players that can move around. They can grab some other players, maybe another big to give Jokic, some true rest time. Well, we'll have to see.
Well, I think they're gonna need some 3-point shooting. I think both teams.
What do you mean 3-point shooting?
What the?
Denver
I'm
was.
gonna read
Go
this stat to you.
Go ahead.
All right, listen. The Nuggets missed 20 of their first 22 3-pointers. They missed 7 of their first 13 free throws. They overcame that to take a late 7-point lead, Danny.
Yeah.
Only to see Miami's Jimmy Butler go off. He scored 8 straight points to give the Heat a 1-point lead, and late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you have bad shooting nights. This was a horrible shooting night for Denver beyond the arc, but
It was pretty bad, bro.
typically
Even
they're
at the free
shooting.
throw line.
They're shooting at least the average for 3-pointers, right?
I mean, for this
Oh.
game.
Yeah. Oh, for this game was horrible. Oh yeah, you have bad games all the time, but if you want to argue about 3-point shooting, Denver, I think, prioritizes those instead of those 3 and Ds. They put D and a little bit of offense, right? Doesn't matter if it's a 3 or wherever they can score. They really prioritize defense and energy and contributing to the offense, maybe not by scoring, but I think that's what makes them a great team. Everyone knows how to pass the ball a little bit, knows how to cut, where to be for the right pass to be made. Yeah, I think this is just an easy win for Denver. No, I'm gonna stop saying that. This was a great series. The Heat did great with what they had at the time, and despite injuries. But yeah, I'm not gonna discredit Denver. They've invested in their players for a long time. Didn't give up on them. Believed in them. Worked to come back, and it really paid off.
I mean, I couldn't say it better myself, but I think the Heat need some help behind the arc.
Most definitely.
I mean, you lost Tyro Hero, who never made an appearance, which I think if you're gonna have Jimmy Butler taking desperation threes, you might as well put him in. What is it gonna hurt you? But Eric Spoelstra couldn't pull the trigger on it, so you didn't get to see him come back. And even the NBA analysis on ABC, ESPN were saying the role players for the Heat didn't know what to do. Because, yeah, similar to like how you said Jimmy Butler, they would run into the paint, stop, look around, and then be like, who can we pass it to? Which, give props to Denver. Their defense was pretty good, making sure there was no backing out or any type of drop shot threes, similar to what kind of like the Warriors do when you got Curry or somebody running into the paint and someone's gonna be there. Like, remember that one random play where Draymond Green threw the ball and there was nobody there?
Yeah, he was like waiting for he was like looking for a lob that wasn't there.
No, he was trying to pass it to somebody for a 3-pointer, but he wasn't there.
Oh,
it was when that dude threw up.
Yeah,
remember? I was trying to avoid saying that, but that's what happened. He was expecting that guy to run behind him.
I know what you're talking about now.
He was expecting him there. That's what the Heat were trying to do. They were getting them to their spots, but Denver was already beating them. Well, was equally getting there, getting to the spots. And then the problem was that every time they would get to their spots, Denver would stop it. It's like they had no backup plan. And it's like, all right, let's just do it again. It's like, no, they already know it's coming. At this point, take them on one-on-one. Like, what are y'all going to do? Just chuck up a 3 and hope it goes in? I mean, Kyle Lowry started doing that, but he's Kyle Lowry. Not that he's all that, but he has that experience to be, all right, we need 3-point shots right now. I'm just going to start taking them. I think he made 2 or 3 in a row. He started missing some, but he was hitting them when he needed them. So shout out to him because he was holding them by a shoestring, and then after a while, the Nuggets kind of caught hold of that, and they're like, okay, no more 3-pointers, and that was that. But other than that point I just made, they need something, and I think I know what that something is, Danny.
What is it?
What that is? I've been seeing on my headlines on my phone that one Damian Lillard is looking to exit Portland. What do you mean stop?
I hate all this Dame leaving Portland. He's never going to leave Portland.
Why not?
Stop kidding yourself. He's not going to leave Portland. He loves the city. He's giving back to it. They've committed to him. He's not going to leave the city. It's ridiculous.
I mean, since 2019, I've been riding Damian Lillard very hard, and everyone always mocks me because I cheer for Damian Lillard because I think he has the potential to be an NBA champion.
I like Dame. I think he's going to be a champion one day, possibly.
However, yeah, one day possibly, but not in Portland. What has Portland done other than giving him a rundown Carmelo Anthony, who was good off the bench, and that's it? Come on, man. Give him, do something. I'm not saying that the organization is bad. I haven't heard no one shout over them destroying the team, but at the same time, it's you have possibly as of right now, a top 5 NBA player, maybe top 10, wherever you want to put him at. And you're wasting his talents. It's almost as if it's Mike Trout or Shohei Ohtani at the Angels, even though I would say the Angels are worse off, but I digress. Like, it's similar to a situation where you have this really good guy on your team, and you guys never do anything with him, Like, wait, you're going to waste this man's career. So, I think if Miami were to go out and get Damian, it would multiply their chances to getting back to the finals and possibly winning.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but I don't know that Dame would ever leave. I don't see it. I don't see Dame ever leaving Portland. He said it. He said it before multiple times. These rumors always come around. They come and go quite easily. But Dame would help any.
The team
I
could
never
always
know, except I do.
sweep. I mean,
come on.
The team could always pull him from under the rug, bro.
I don't know, man.
I mean, I don't know. That's where I see it. Cause what else is he gonna do? What are the Heat gonna do? What are they gonna do, Danny? Tell me. What? All right. Let me ask you this: what do you think the Heat need to do to improve and or get back to the finals and win it?
The Heat need a better point guard up top, easily. They need a better point guard that will help them move the ball, make the right passes, make Jimmy's job a lot easier. And like you said, 3-point shooting isn't a bad thing. Bam Adebayo is a great big. They need someone to mesh with. Him and Jimmy already, do pretty well for themselves. But if there was a third option, who is a threat, not just for 3-point scoring, but just scoring in general, I think that would push teams to not know who to grab. Like in Golden State, you have Klay Thompson, Curry, and then it could be a handful of people anywhere else on the floor. Some nights Jordan Poole, some nights a random Jonathan Kuminga. Even Draymond can be a source of offense all of a sudden. All these guys can get double digits in Golden State. It's not to say that Miami doesn't have that, but a clear third option would be so much easier to play with, I think, for Bam and Jimmy to kind of pull people away from them and get them to, push for someone up, push the defense towards someone else and create openings.
Okay. And do you think they would get it from the draft or?
Oh, I have no fucking idea.
Oh, okay.
I ain't got no idea how the hell they would do it.
That's all good.
Probably by giving up some of the role players. Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin have, done great for them. So, they might have to give up one of them. If I were them, I would hold on to both of them because Miami has a great record of choosing these guys that know how to go in there with fight and develop them to the point where all of a sudden we see, like, where did this guy come from? That's something that Miami does really well. So if I were them, I would hold on to them. And eventually, if something goes wrong, give them up. But I wouldn't if I were them.
Oh, okay.
Find someone else to give up. I don't know. Give up Kyle Lowry. He hasn't been that good.
I think it was okay.
Yeah, he was fine. Whatever.
What do you think, very quickly, what do you think the Nuggets need to do in order to repeat?
In order to repeat? Oh, man, they can do whatever they want. For sure, hold on to their core. I think the starting five are still on contract. So, they can definitely run it back with the starting five. I think they should have played Thomas Bryant. I would take Thomas Bryant over DeAndre Jordan any day of the week. I'm sorry to DeAndre, but I would let him go, put some more time and money to Thomas Bryant next season so he can be, what the Lakers had. A great backup big to Anthony Davis. He could be a great backup big to Jokić. Give him some good rest minutes. He complained about not having minutes in LA. It's probably going to be the same deal in Denver. He might get a couple more minutes, but that's only if DeAndre is out of the picture. But other than that, they have the pieces. They got another good point guard in Reggie Jackson to be a backup to Jamal. They've got most of everything that they need. Maybe another big wing to threaten 3-point shooting and take it to the rack. I hate to say it, but someone like John Collins would be great for them. He does lack a little bit on the defensive end, but if you're looking for more offense and you're keeping most of your defensive players, that'd be a great option. He can take lobs. He knows how to move. He can shoot threes at a decent clip, something like that. But I don't think Denver has to make many moves to stay with it in this upcoming season. I think they just need to extend the players that they have and invest in them. I think they'll get paid in dividends.
Oh, okay, yeah, man, sounds good. Do you have anything else to add before we start wrapping things up on the NBA Finals?
No, really. Congratulations to the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokić, Jamal Murray, Mike Malone, everyone on the Denver team, KCP, MPJ, Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, Jeff Green, Ish Smith, everybody. They did a great job. All the role players did a good job keeping them number one to go into the playoffs. They deserve it. That's it.
Yeah, congratulations to them. And before that, before this season, the Denver Nuggets there were only two teams founded before 1980. The Nuggets and the Clippers. They had never been to the NBA Finals. The Nuggets took their names off of that list. They now join San Antonio as the second original ABA team to capture the NBA's biggest prize. The other two ABA squads were the Pacers and the Nets that have been to the finals but lost. So, congratulations to the Denver Nuggets. You proved me wrong. You proved Danny correct.
Yep, in 5 too. Just like I said.
Off, I guess.
Just like I said.
All right, maybe next time. But yeah, that's been our NBA talk. So, Danny, are you ready to move on now?
Yes, sir.
So, from the hardwood court, we now move to the hard, sometimes soft pitch grass of the soccer field, in which the UEFA Champions League final was also this past weekend, as of this recording, where Manchester City took the 1-0 victory over Inter Milan with a Rodri goal coming in the 68th minute. Danny, both of our predictions were unfortunately wrong. Your team did win in your prediction, ManCity.
Yes, sir.
But the way is over. Manchester City has won their first ever Champions League title, getting that second half goal from Rodri. Coach Pep Guardiola's side had to persevere in the match, as one Kevin De Bruyne had to leave, suffering an injury, which apparently, reading reports as of today, he was hurt this whole time. He was subbed off and replaced by Phil Foden. But they had all the right things going for them. And once they got that goal, I felt like Inter just was not going to get it, because I felt that if no team was going to score, that they would go into extra time, and that's how maybe Inter would get the win. Because I was surprised it was 0-0 at the half. So yeah, you had the one goal by Rodri, which I don't know if you got to see the highlight, Danny, but basically the ball was kind of scrambling around everywhere. I forgot who it was. Someone went out wide. It took a weird deflection in which I think a lot of Man City players were pleading for a handball, but like I just mentioned, the ball kind of just squirted out towards Rodri, and he took the shot, and the ball landed in the back of the net. And that's how they got the victory. I mean, a little lackluster in my opinion, because it was back and forth. I mean, without the goals, but it's not like each team was not taking shots, but yeah, I mean, it's old proper soccer match, you know. So I mean, I know you did you get to watch it?
Nope. Sorry,
So
Robert.
I
I didn't catch it.
Yeah, it was okay. that's why I figured if Danny were to see this, he'd be like, it was okay, because there was nothing much to it. Which is I mean, I liked it personally, so it was a good match to see. Not that it was the best final out there. It wasn't no Real Madrid, Liverpool, but it is what it is. We kind of had a David versus Goliath moment, but yeah, congratulations to Manchester City on winning their first ever Champions League trophy, and also congratulations to them because they were able to get the domestic treble. So let me see what's that guy right here. This is now Pep Guardiola's first Champions League title since 2011 with Barcelona. As his City side complete a treble, winning the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. So they won the Premier League. They defeated their rival Manchester United in the FA Cup final, and they now defeated Inter Milan in the Champions League final. Pep Guardiola also became the first manager to win a European treble. Treble. Why is it spelled differently here? With two different teams, also completing the feat with Barcelona. Inter had their chances and did a good job, defending Erling Haaland. But thanks to Anderson in goal for Manchester City, it wasn't something that the club had to worry about to pull out the victory. So, yeah, I think it was a good showing by ManCity. I was, super duper shocked that De Bruyne was getting pulled. I know they explained I guess he had picked up a knock, but I didn't know it was that severe that he's been playing with, a strain or something in his leg. But it comes full circle because I think, 2020? They played in the final with Chelsea, and he got subbed off there too. But that was only because, he had a busted face.
Damn.
I think,
That's a bad way to call someone ugly, man. Jesus.
No, not that type of busted face. Who's the dude from the Pistons that would wear the mask?
From the Pistons. A lot of people wear masks a lot of times. From the Pistons.
It's the one guy. I always forget his name. Can you look that up for me?
Don't know.
Can you look up?
Go ahead. Pistons
player who wore mask. I always see his picture pops up everywhere. Who is the guy that wore
Richard Hamilton?
Yeah, it's Richard Hamilton. So that's what I mean. He had a busted face, not that he was ugly. Chill, Danny. Gosh. But yeah, he was wearing the mask last time, and I guess now he had an injury. So props to him for how would you say, persevering to get to this point, and only letting it not even really hurt the team at all. Phil Foden's a pretty decent like-for-like sub in my opinion, so you didn't really lose anything. But I would like to point out, I expected more from Erling Haaland, considering in the beginning of the Premier League season he was just scoring so many goals, and as I mentioned in our prior episode, Man City had double the amount of goals than Inter. You see a stat line that reads that they've scored over 30 goals, and you expected them to come out ablazing out here. But props to Inter for defending him. Cause if not, maybe you would have seen that. You would have seen. What did you say? You predicted 3-1?
I think so.
Yeah, so you would have probably had that score line than what we got this time around in reality. So, yeah, props to Inter for keeping the Norwegian striker in bay, because you didn't really see him get the ball that much. I think he had one shot that was super duper near the post, but it was an awkward shot, so it came awkwardly off his foot. That's the only one that's coming off the top of my dome right now. But I think that's all I have. Danny, do you have anything else to add in regards to the Champions League final?
No, sir. Unfortunately.
All right, because I wanted to keep this short because there's something else that happened in the soccer landscape that could take a little bit more time than what I had to say on the final. So, Danny, Lionel Messi has announced
God.
that he will be taking his talents to South Beach, and he will be joining Inter Miami, co-owned by David Beckham and Jorge Mas of Major League Soccer in the United States.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you know this, and I know we slightly discussed this last week, but it's somewhat of a big deal.
Oh,
So,
it's a huge deal. This shit is crazy.
Yeah, dude. So, Lionel Messi will be coming to Major League Soccer, playing for Inter Miami. Is rumored that he will play sometime in July, either by July 8th, or he'll make his domestic debut on July 21st, I believe, and that match will be against Cruz Azul and Leagues Cup, which is the tournament between MLS and Liga MX, the Mexican league clubs. So it's going to be interesting to see when he debuts. There are rumors swirling that he will debut or show up at the MLS All-Star game. Not playing, but hey, if he shows face, I think people are going to lose their shit. But yeah, it's over not even the span of 24 hours. He has changed the social, economical, and I don't know, how would you say, not perseverance, the hell, like perception of the league at the time when he decided to come play for Miami. Because Danny, I know you had your doubts of his impact, but let me just tell you something really quick. Let me see what I got here. When I was looking at Inter Miami's Instagram account, they had about 200,000, 600,000 around 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. As of now of this recording, they currently have 8.1 million followers on Instagram.
Jesus Christ.
I think at the moment they are now 5th or 4th in Instagram followers in America. Number 1 and number 2 being the Golden State Warriors and the Lakers. They have more followers than the damn Cowboys.
Damn, that's crazy.
And I know you don't watch football, but you know the Cowboys are pretty popular.
Oh yeah.
So that's just insane, dude. But what makes it more insane is the reported contract is, and it is kind of like how I projected the other day. He's going to get an Apple TV. He's going to get some of the Apple TV money. He's going to be getting Adidas money. He's an Adidas sponsored athlete. And he's going to be getting paid from the MLS.
Damn.
And he also signed a deal to do like a Apple documentary on him.
Bro,
so,
what?
Yeah.
So quick. That's crazy.
Yeah. And to go back on the economical side, the cheapest ticket before he had signed was like $29.
Yep.
Dude, they're like $300, $400 now.
It is fucking crazy.
And that stadium that they play in, Drive Pink Stadium, which is a temporary stadium, by the way, only sits about 18,000. So there's a rumor going around that they're going to have to move to a Hard Rock Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play, because it's significantly bigger. So that's a thing. Let me see. According to the Miami Herald, it is reported that, like I say, his thing's going to be complicated. His deal is valued between $125 million and $150 million over the length of the contract, which it estimates to be 2.5 years in length with an option year for 2026. The report states that it would include salary, bonuses, and equity in the team. Both Apple, the MLS broadcast partner. Yeah,
that equity? Right.
EQUITY.
Yep. You said equity. God damn, they're giving this guy everything.
Both Apple, the MLS broadcast partner, and Adidas, one of the league's biggest sponsors, which, by the way, Adidas makes the uniforms, and he's one of their athletes, we're offering profit-sharing agreements on merchandising and subscriptions to MLS Season Pass. So another thing I'd like to point out is that ever since he's been at PSG, and I think, can you double-check real quick, Danny?
Yes.
What Barca's jersey sponsor was? Because when he was at PSG, they're sponsored by Nike. So now they're going to get him out of that Nike uniform.
I think PSG is Jordan.
Jordan is Nike, foo.
Yeah, I mean, well, specifically, you know what I mean?
Well, what's Barca, dude? Did you get that for me?
Oh, for Barca?
Barcelona. Yes, so yeah, you're getting him out of that Nike Jordan uniform. They did, the Jordan thing was like a collab, but basically Nike. So you're getting him out of a Nike uniform, and now you're getting him in a full-time Adidas brand jersey.
Yeah.
And what
Barcelona
was
was also jersey, or was also Nike.
Okay, there you go. It makes it 110% better for Adidas.
Yep.
You got your own sponsored player in your own uniform at Inter Miami. Ain't that some shit?
That's crazy.
I mean, isn't that better?
Guess.
I mean, look at what Jordan did. What, he was sponsored by Nike, and what he did, he covered up the Reebok logo with the American flag.
Yeah, I remember that.
He's like, what are they gonna tell me?
Yeah.
Take off the flag? No. But it's just insane. I think it's a big deal in the soccer landscape around the world, because he had basically more or less three options. Could have gone back to Barcelona, maybe, or taken a more ridiculous deal from the Saudi Arabia League, in which they were reportedly offering him $1.3 billion.
Yep. Man, those
for
Saudis,
3 years, and
throwing
being an
money
ambassador.
at people. Literally throwing money at people. It is insane.
So, he's already an ambassador for like the country or the league, so they were like, dude, just come and play over here. But what people are spectating is when he did that unauthorized trip from PSG to Saudi Arabia, they think that him, his wife, and his kids went over there to go check it out. Like, they're probably trying to like swing him over, and it probably didn't work because he didn't take the deal. And I know there was a lot of people from that league that were very upset because, you know, $1 billion, Danny, that's just insane.
Yeah, it is freaking crazy.
For Barcelona's sake, I think they were gonna try to do a deal and just have him come back, you know, for old time's sake. But they were gonna have to cut people, move people around, you know, to have people take pay cuts, basically. And Messi didn't want to deal with that. He's like, dude, can you guys do it or not? That was basically the point.
Yeah.
And, you know, he wasn't about to just be an idiot and wait for these guys to come back to answer that, you know? And, you know, why would you want to deal with that when he already got technically burned the first time? Because basically what happened. He got priced out at Barcelona. They're like, we can't afford you no more. I mean, we could, but we have to pull some strings, and the league's not going to let us. And then they could have, but they did something really stupid. Basically, the league told them, don't join the Super League. And they're like, okay. And then Real Madrid was like, no. And they're like, okay, never mind. So the league said, no more Messi. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
But you want to hear something funny? So after they announced that he announced via interview that he was going to Miami, dude, the fucking Barcelona president put out a letter.
A memo?
Yeah, like,
or a release or some shit?
Yeah, like, Messi is not going to join because he wants to basically a petty response.
Oh, for real?
It's basically saying, like, oh, he wants to go play somewhere else where it's not too hard and he can live, like, a more relaxing life.
Yeah, no shit, he's getting old.
Yeah, but while the pundits were saying... Here, think of it this way, Danny. I'm going to try to get this reaction out of you.
Sure.
Imagine if when LeBron made his decision that, like, I don't know, who else was in the running? The Sixers? Imagine if the Sixers president came out and said something stupid like that. Oh, we couldn't get LeBron because he decided to go play somewhere else where it was warmer. And he too much of a wimp.
Yeah, I mean,
who does that?
I don't care about it. That's just what people do, you know? Like, when you're petty, you're an owner, you lost because, you know, a geographic location had something that you couldn't get. I mean, it's your own fault, to be honest, you know? Like, what did you expect? You thought that Barcelona was going to be able to provide, like, the sponsorships that the U.S. can give you? You know, like, working with companies like Adidas in the U.S. and, like, just having, in general, a better quality of life as a rich person in the U.S. than in Barcelona? You're crazy. You know what I mean? Like, It's just some things that you can't, as an owner, like substitute with money, right? I think that's why he came to the U.S. ultimately. As an older guy too. I mean, you just want to be in the U.S. You know, as a rich person in the U.S., you are free to do anything, and that's why he came.
Yeah, because the ESPN guys were like, "Why did he even have to come out and say this? Like,
Yeah.
are you
seriously.
gonna come out? Are you gonna give out a response for when Erling Haaland doesn't come to your team? Like, what? That's just unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's just a petty response. Like, come on, fool. The fuck you talking about?
He's a fact.
But yeah, I'm hoping for. I mean, I'm excited. I mean, it was a little. I spoke to our good friend Alex at well, formerly out of our own end zone, and I even told him, I was like, he was like, "What was your reaction?" I'm like, "Well, I had a lukewarm reaction because I'm like, I didn't want to believe it." Oh, so yeah, I was on his podcast very recently on Steel City Crew, by the way, if you guys are interested. So go look him up on Twitter, Steel City Crew. And
Shout
I'm
out.
like, I didn't want to believe it because the last time I heard of this, it was in December, which on Fox they were like already saying it was a done deal, but no one ever came out to announce it. So I didn't want to believe it. And then my friend was like, "Hey, you need to post this." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "It's coming." I was like, "For real?" He's like, "Yeah, all right, bet." So that's how I kind of found out more or less that it was real. And Fabrizio Romano gave it the "here we go," and yeah, it happened. Lionel Messi to MLS. But yeah,
Crazy.
I think what it was too is that Argentina's gonna be playing a couple friendlies here in the U.S. and we're gonna have the World Cup and we're gonna have Copa America. We're gonna have the Olympics as well. So if you were to play in any of those tournaments, you know, it's a way easier travel schedule for him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he cared about traveling like that. I think he just cared about where his family was going to end up for, the foreseeable future.
Well, I mean, yeah, that too, Danny. I mean, like, if his family's already here, he's not gonna have to travel back
Yep.
and forth between the U.S. and the Europe. So
Yeah,
it
exactly.
only makes sense. And then also, I just remembered, Argentina is currently building a what do you call it? Like a facility,
hmm
like a training facility in Florida. So he's just down the street now. Ain't that
Yep.
far. So you have a World Cup winner from 6 months ago playing in the United States. Dude, that's
Damn.
fucking crazy.
It is insane. I mean, it's the same reason that LeBron stays in LA, there's just stuff to do here, right? There's just more opportunity than in Cleveland, right? It's just
Mm-hmm.
it's just what it is, right? Outside the sport, you can do so much more.
No, yeah, because Messi also mentioned in his interview, he's like, yeah, my wife just didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. I had to think what was best for them.
Yeah, and Saudi Arabia is filled with those oil barons. Why do they have so much money? Because of oil. What do they do with it? Anything that they want. They're living like, this is like a simulation. They could literally piss money at anything they want. Do whatever they want, and get away with it. And because no one cares, they have the money to do whatever they want. But at the flip side, when you become kind of their lapdog because you accept that money and now you're living there, what do? You're just a bird in a cage. All you're doing is playing and performing for them. If you really want to do something, then and they don't like it, what are you gonna do? You're trapped there, right?
Yeah.
The U.S. is basically the only choice I see.
No, yeah, and then I feel like he took this deal. It's not 100 billion. I mean, it's not 100 billion. It's not 1 billion, but he's He's investing into Apple. He's investing into Adidas, and there's a rumor that, kind of like with David Beckham when he came, that he's gonna most likely get a deal to at some point make an expansion franchise.
Oh, I'm sure.
In the MLS. 'Cause that's what David Beckham got.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is gonna be bigger than David Beckham. I think it's gonna be bigger than Pelé, somehow. I mean, in the modern day, we obviously we weren't born for that. we were too young for David Beckham, but I think it's going to be bigger than all those things combined, just due to the connectivity through the internet, being able to watch him play on a daily basis. It's just going to be insane, dude.
I agree. I mean, I don't remember. I remember a little bit of David Beckham when he was here, but I don't remember the impact of it.
I mean, we were like in second or third grade, so
yeah. But they all come to the U.S. Why? Because it's just economic opportunity. At the end of the day, it's best to retire here. Make your money worldwide, and then come back and get the rest of your bag and have a nice cushy retirement home. It's a smart thing to do. That's what they all do, and they're just following suit with their predecessors.
No, yeah. So hopefully, with Lionel Messi being here, it's all good, fun time. If I can, June 19th, I believe, is the All-Star game. It's going to be in D.C., the 2023 All-Star game. They're replaying Arsenal. And then, as I mentioned before, the lowest ticket prices went from $29 to $329. While on the road,
God.
they also... Yeah, and then even the road games that they're playing.
Yeah.
For New York Red Bulls, their August 26th game saw an 1,236% increase in prices. Wow.
It's insane, man.
For LAFC's matchup on September 3rd, they jumped 420%. I believe the tickets there were going for $80. Now they're going for $400.
It's ridiculous, man.
The only thing is, to start wrapping things up, is that Inter Miami is dead last in the Eastern Conference.
Oh.
And they just fired their head coach. But there's a rumor going around they're going to hire a former Mexican head coach of the national team, Tata Martino, who's also Argentinian. And also now everyone's coming to Miami. There's rumors that Di Maria is going to come, Busquets, Alba. I'm like, bro, you guys can't even afford half of these guys. You can't afford all these guys. You're going to have to give up your other DPs. So we're going to have to see what Inter Miami does in regards to how they respond to keep Mr. Lionel Messi happy, considering they're dead last. The quality of the league is low, but it is physical and fast. So we'll have to see if Messi runs, which he wasn't really doing a lot of running in PSG. So, yeah. We'll talk more about this on a later date. But,
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's my 2 cents for now in regards to Lionel Messi coming to the MLS.
Yep. That's about it for me for this.
Alrighty then. So we're moving on now to the warm-up, in which we're going to be talking some baseball. And we've kind of talked about this here and there. But for today's warm-up topic, the Oakland A's, as at the moment of this recording, are doing a reverse boycott. So, Danny, I know we've talked about it a little bit. The A's are not doing so good.
Nope.
So their billionaire owner is basically tanking the team, forcing Oakland to say no to a new stadium, and trying to force the city of Las Vegas to okay a $1 million baseball facility on the Strip in Las Vegas for the A's to go move over there. But in news of that, the A's hopeful are doing a reverse boycott, in which, not that they were boycotting now, they just were not going because they sucked and they don't like the owner. But in this reverse boycott, they are going to the stadium and buying tickets, giving this man money, but giving him hell at the same time. So, Oakland at the moment, we're averaging the MLB lowest, worst 8,675 fans per game. And, the poor attendance is what the owner is justifying for relocation. However, as of this recording, they're somehow averaging 27,000, and because that's what they got their last game. How did he get 27,000 at the Oakland Coliseum? Well, in the reverse protest, or boycott I should say, they packed in all the fans just to chant and shout in every inning, sell the team, sell the team. So, yeah, they were just going straight to the point. They were also selling or giving away T-shirts that say green T-shirts that say like "sell the team" or just "sell" on it. So, yeah, dude, it's just insane. Have you ever heard of that?
Nope. That is crazy. I mean, I get it too. Like I was saying, the last time we talked about this, it sucks that Oakland is losing all of their teams, basically to just more money. Like corporate interests. It really only leaves them with the roots. Leaving them with the soccer team at the end of the day. But I'm sure.
Barely a soccer team.
Yeah. But it's an interesting form of protesting. It's like, performative. You want to get people stirred up, but what does it do at the end of the day? Like, the deal is basically already done. Like, no one is really gonna.
Well, not really.
I mean, they've already broke ground on construction.
No, they did not.
What?
What the fuck we talking about?
That was the headline that we read the other day. The deal wasn't done, but they've already broke down on the construction.
No.
Or broke ground on construction.
But they have made some progress, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
The Nevada Senate just cleared a bill to okay $380 million.
Holy fuck.
Of government money to start building.
The government is building it?
Yeah, dude. The Nevada taxpayers' money, bro.
What the fuck? I cannot believe that the government is building it.
This is, and I'm quoting and paraphrasing information said by Jeff Passan. How would you say? What's the word? Like, respected journalist, baseball journalist who works for ESPN. This from his mouth. Yeah, $380 million, bro, from the Nevada Senate.
That is like insane.
That just makes no sense. And I know there's been pushback from Las Vegas politicians who are just like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What is the
why?
point?
You already have a football team. Relax.
And a hockey team who just won, which we'll get to in a bit.
Oh my god. Oh right. Yeah, the Kings. That's right. Or sorry, the Knights.
The Knights.
What I'm saying.
But yeah, dude, it's just dude, like, I don't know. Well, we'll just have to wait and see because they just want, basically the fans want them to sell the team. They want to stay in Oakland. They gotta do something. Yeah.
I mean, it's really tough in Oakland too because I think it's really hard for them to fill those seats out. Just in general.
Well, the stadium is old, Danny. Like, even Jeff Passan was saying, he's like, in the year 2000 they were trying to find a new stadium.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not. It doesn't make, it should have. Even Passan was saying it should have been condemned. That's how bad it is.
Damn, that's how bad it is. Jeez.
No, yeah. That's what I know you don't know. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like,
dude, I've passed by it like 3 times this year. It looks fine. It looks old from the outside, but I didn't know it was just that bad that it needs to be condemned. Being condemned, it's a fucking safety risk.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy.
Like,
damn.
It just makes it doesn't make any more sense to be playing there no more. But the fans want the team. It's like they're not saying, like, their supporters are not hating on the team itself. But what does the owner do? He sells all their good players who helps make them to the playoffs. Like, right now, they're on as of this recording, they're on a 7-game winning streak.
Damn. Okay.
But still dead last.
Damn.
In the AL West.
Wow. Despite the winning streak, they're dead last. That's crazy.
19 wins, 50 losses.
Damn. That's crazy.
They have a differential of negative 192.
What the fuck?
So, yeah. If that doesn't tell you what's going on out there in Oakland, then I don't know what will, Danny.
Damn.
But yeah,
okay.
that's what their fans have been doing as of late, doing the reverse boycott. But I think, it's interesting because usually, you don't want to give the people you hate money, but if you're going out there for 2.5 hours, 2 hours or so, yelling and screaming, not for the team but against you, the owner, like, I don't know. It might work. I mean, what is it? I mean, obviously he's the billionaire owner.
Yeah.
He could just be like, fuck off.
It makes sense too because it's like, you're literally putting where your mouth is, putting your money where your mouth is. And then by paying for the ticket, you're showing that you're willing to show up to the game. To me, it makes sense as a protest, but like you said, it also doesn't make sense because you are giving money to the owner who it's his decision at the end of the day to move them or not. So they could just be throwing their money in a fire pit, but interesting stuff.
No, yeah, because it's more or less a real life version of the movie Major League with Charlie Sheen. Where have you seen that movie?
No, I have not.
Basically, the owner, her like husband dies or something, and she takes control of the Cleveland Indians, and she's like, man, we suck. No one comes to our games anyway. So she intentionally hires like a third division coach, has an open tryout for anybody, and tells the GM like, sign whoever, doesn't matter. Here's your what would you call it, like your salary, which isn't much. And she intentionally has them like riding the bus. Well, first it was a crappy airplane. Well, first it was a plane. Then she's like, no, that's too good. Here's a crappy airplane. And then from the crappy airplane, they went to a crappy bus.
Damn.
So basically, the whole point was that she was trying to get them to tank and move them to Miami.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, if we don't hit a certain mark of attendance, we could, like, move the team.
Yeah. Oh, I
but
see.
Obviously, the movie is... The whole point of the movie...
Yeah. I
trying
get
to prove her wrong.
Yeah, prove her wrong. They start going on a win streak. She tries to stop them. They win anyway. The team stays. Got it.
Yeah. And, like, as one of the characters says, they're like, what do we do? And he goes, we got to win the whole fucking thing. And, yeah, it's like a pretty... I think Wesley Snipes is in it. Speaking of the black man... Oh, we had a prior conversation. Who's the dude from the Allstate commercials? Do you know his name?
Oh, man. Yeah. Give me 1 second. Oh.
He's in it, too. He goes. I think he goes by Hector Serrano. And it's just funny because basically his whole character point is that he's like religious, but he likes voodoo.
Dennis Haysbert.
Yeah, Dennis Haysbert. Oh, dude, he's fucking hilarious. And then there's this Asian gentleman. He plays their Japanese import.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because basically
that's so funny.
The owner, she goes, I got you guys a new player. Like, yeah, I got him from the Giants. And then it cuts to the game day announcer. He's like, here is our new player from the Tokyo Giants.
Oh, damn. I was going to say, from the Yokohama Giants.
Yeah, whatever their team is.
Yeah, that's so funny, though. Yeah, whatever. Just pick a random city in Japan.
Well, I don't know. The Giants. I haven't seen the movie. But yeah, the Giants from Japan.
Yeah.
And then he sucks.
That's funny.
But him and the Soriano have a interesting back and forth because they both don't speak good English.
Oh.
So it's a comical pairing because basically the Japanese dude tells him, you don't have any, and he reads through his little dictionary, marbles. And he goes, marbles.
That's so funny.
And he kind of points at his crotch and he's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. And that's what gets Soriano, what's his name again?
Was Dennis Haysbert.
That's what get Dennis Haysbert's character to hit home runs.
Oh, I see.
Because the Japanese dude was telling him he didn't have any balls, basically.
That's so funny.
Oh no, yeah, it's pretty good. My favorite, but the best part, what makes this movie famous, and we'll end the convo in a bit, but is when Charlie Sheen's character basically he can't see. Oh, he's a pitcher, by the way. And he can't see, which you need to see, and he puts glasses on, and he goes from this playboy guy to not playboy, but kind of stoic guy to a more humble person.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he finally wears glasses and he could see. But at the end of the movie, I forgot. Dang it! I think they filmed this in Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
I think it's a Braves game where it's a packed stadium, And in baseball they have like an intro music.
Yeah.
So his walkout music is a Wild Thing. So and like in the beginning, so as the song's playing, the owner's like, "I hate this fucking song." But like they had everybody jumping up in that bitch, dude.
Yeah.
It's a pretty
That's
good scene.
hilarious.
And spoiler alert, they win. So yeah, there's two movies. There's Major League and then there's Major League 2. But I think Major League 2 is more or less what's it called, a reboot, cause it's more or less the same story.
Mhm.
But that's basically what's happening down in Oakland. Like most people recognize the Oakland A's because of Moneyball with Brad Pitt, but right now it's more like Major League with Charlie Sheen.
Bro.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
But that's what's happening down in Oakland. So props to them. Hopefully, they don't leave Oakland anytime soon. But that's what's going down. Do you have anything else to add in regards to our warm-up topic, Danny?
Not really. Sad to see that team go. But I mean, it's up and on to better pastures, right? Like Oakland is a tough city because people don't want to leave San Francisco, Berkeley, come up from San Jose, when they already have the San Francisco Giants. I mean, like in LA, you can have a double team support system because I think it's a little easier to get around in LA. But out in the Bay, getting from San Francisco to Oakland, depending on where you're at, sometimes takes over an hour for such a short distance, and then you have to get down to the stadium in Oakland with more traffic, and then park. It's like a 2-hour thing just to get there. Whereas in LA, you can get between basically two stadiums if they have games back to back, and probably make it for the majority of both games. You can watch all of the first game and miss just part of the second game, with probably no more than an hour max of travel, parking, getting your butt into the seat, right? I think the Bay suffers from its own like infrastructure and being around the water, but sad to see it go. It's one of the oldest teams in the league, and has one of the best logos for sure.
Yeah. So
just classic cursive A. Dope.
You technically lost your basketball team to the city next to you.
Yeah, I mean you did.
Still Golden State. You lost your football team because the same problem. They wanted a new stadium.
Yep.
And it's just we're gonna have to wait and see what happens there.
Yep. I mean, we know what's gonna happen. They're gone.
I hope not.
90% sure they're gone. Come on, man.
All right. Moving on now, if I may.
Go ahead.
We're now at the rundown, where we talk about whatever else we have not talked about yet. And in this week's first rundown topic, the Stanley Cup Final has finished. They also went to Game 5, in which congratulations to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. You have just won your first NHL championship trophy, your first Stanley Cup. They defeated the Florida Panthers 4-1 in the series. In this last game, they scored 9 goals to the Panthers' lonely 3. 9-3 was the final score. And with shout out to Mark Stone, who led the way for Vegas with his second career playoff hat trick. He's the third player in NHL history with a hat trick and a cup clinching win, and the only one in the last century. So congrats to the Vegas Knights. Danny, were you able to watch any of this game?
No, I was not. Didn't even catch any of the highlights, but
I
called
did not
it.
Either.
Called it.
There
That's
you
all
go.
I'm gonna say. Got him.
And I think I had the Knights in 6? Is that what I did? I think you had them in 5.
Yeah, I think I had them in 5 as well. Man, dude, I'm crazy right now. I'm cracked calling these games. It's insane.
Shut up, fool. You still
It's
lost
crazy.
the bet and March Madness.
Oh,
You haven't even
who
done that
cares,
yet.
man? Yeah, and you were scared to bet me for everything else. Shut up.
Oh, whatever, fool. We still haven't
Shut
done
up.
that yet.
I'm cracked.
TBD, TBA.
Yeah,
But,
TBD.
I did see a sideline highlight. So they have a equipment manager, right?
Mhm.
So the video was recording him. Basically he puts his hand like he puts a finger on whatever stick that whoever player is controlling the puck, or whoever he sees like doesn't have a stick, right? So at some point, Matt Stone's stick breaks, and he already had the stick in hand. So when he like skated by the bench, he could just grab it. So he grabbed that shit right when they were going in transition on offense, and then he scored the goal.
Oh shit. Okay. Damn.
So like everyone was giving props to the equipment manager because if he wouldn't have had the stick ready, there wouldn't be no goal.
Yeah. He just like walked into it.
No, yeah,
That's crazy.
because he expected it, but yeah, that shit came in clutch. Because how many times do you ever see that where, that happens all the time where the equipment manager hands the stick off, but like they hand the stick off and then instantly into a goal, dude, that's crazy. And then props to the coaching staff too. There's one guy, he like shoved him. He's like, you.
It's like you did this. Yeah, this is you.
No, yeah, dude. I'm like, you should like give an assist or something, because dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Golden Knights equipment manager for being on his toes,
Shout out.
coming in clutch. But yeah, congratulations to Las Vegas. I think this is their second finals appearance. I think they've only been around since 2018, 2019. I don't know, let me fact check that for you. Cause yeah, they're a expansion franchise technically, so yeah, still fairly new. 2017, excuse me. And as I look that up on the internet, I get fireworks on my Google machine. Excellent.
Cool.
But yeah, congratulations to you guys winning your first ever Stanley Cup.
Shout
Lord
out.
Stanley Cup. Moving on now. CONCACAF Nations League is this week. As of this recording, the games may have already happened. We have Canada versus Panama in the first game, first semifinal matchup, which will be 4 p.m. Pacific time, Thursday. And after that, we will have USA versus Mexico, 7 p.m. All these games will also be taking place in Las Vegas at Allegiant Stadium, home of I was about to say the Oakland Raiders. Home of the Las Vegas Raiders. But yeah, unless you are hearing this and the game has already happened, there will also be the third place game, which will be taking place Sunday, June 18 at 3 p.m. And then the championship final game will be on Sunday as well at 5:30 p.m. All times I have mentioned are specific time, so double check your start of the game, please. But just to go over my thoughts on the game, I think the U.S. should be having a good time considering Mexico just played a friendly down in San Diego at Snapdragon Stadium, where they somewhat struggled against the Cameroonian team, going down 2-1 late, but making sure they get the 2-2 draw late in the game. So when I saw that 2-1 scoreline, I was like, there's no way that the U.S. cannot beat these guys, because how would they be able to lose if they're losing to Cameroon, which Cameroon usually has a good team, but come on, guys, like, if Mexico's going to be coming in all high and tight, like, the U.S. has to be on their A game for this. They have to. They're going to be having Matt Turner in goal for sure. You're going to see Gio Reyna hopefully chop it up again. Weston McKennie, hopefully he gets a header in from a corner. Ricardo Pepi or Jesus Ferreira needs to score. You guys got to get on it, man. You guys are strikers. Come on. But if not, we have our new guy, Folarin Balogun, the new guy. I don't know much about you, but everyone says you're really good, so I have to trust everyone that gets paid to talk about soccer. And hopefully you do help the team, get this W against your rival in the semifinal. Because then after that, if the U.S. does win, they're either going to play Canada or Panama, who are no slouches. If the U.S. were to play Panama, I think it'd be a decent game. And to go up against Canada, it might be a slugfest because Canada is coming off that dismal World Cup performance where they finished first in CONCACAF qualifying and somewhat laid an egg at the World Cup because everyone thought, Canada's going to be good. They finished first. Well, dude, Mexico played better than Canada. That's how bad they were. So, yeah, that's where that's where the buck stops for me. But yeah, hopefully the USA, if you're listening to this at any time, is in the final. Fingers crossed. So yeah. Dan, do you have anything to say about Team USA?
Not too much. Unfortunately, USA. That's all I gotta say.
All right, perfect. Moving on now. On the track in NASCAR news, Martin Truex Jr. won the Toyota Save Mart 350 in Sonoma Raceway. The next race will be the Ally 400 on Sunday, June 25th, 4 p.m. Pacific at Nashville Speedway. You can now watch all the races on NBC. I believe this is that new thing I've been saying about where half of the races will be on Fox, and I think after the All-Star race, they'll move to NBC. So all the races will now be televised on NBC and the USA Network. So make sure you guys catch that. And also, coming off the top of my head, I don't know if you know this day, but NASCAR just raced one of their newer generation cars at the Le Mans race in, was it France? It's like a 24-hour race. So basically, they had a NASCAR racing against Ferraris and GTEs.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was probably one of the, I think they finished 38th, 39th out of like 60 cars, which is okay for it being the first time. They had Jimmy Johnson out there, NASCAR legend. Him and two other drivers, I don't recall who, but from what I was reading, the car did really good. Obviously, it didn't finish in the top, but they had to move up the car in the starting line. You want to know why?
Why?
It was going too fast. They're like, we can't have this car passing our more advanced vehicles.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Starting from the back. So they moved it up like next to the Ferraris.
Damn.
Because that's how fast it was going. So, yeah, congratulations to, I think it was Team Hendricks that had their car out there. I think. I got to double check that. But
Hendricks.
Yeah, shout out to NASCAR for getting having a decent showing out there in France.
Shout out.
And then lastly, Danny, I know you like golf, but it's not golfing news in a good way.
Oh, I know about the. Come on, man. Let's talk about it.
Oh, you want to talk about it real quick? Okay, if you know it, go for it. The PGA Tour agreed to merge with rival Live Golf, which is backed by Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund, an entity controlled by Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. The proposed merger comes after the PGA Tour and Live Golf have been embroiled in lawsuits regarding antitrust claims. The deal would end all pending litigation. So, what I've been hearing is that the PGA didn't want to do this, but the president, who also said he didn't want to do this and was talking smack, not very nice rhetoric on his part, for some reason, took this deal, even though he told nobody. They even told the golfers, and all the golfers are like, what is going on? Why are we doing this? But yeah, Danny, what do you have to add about this?
They're cowards. PGA should have never done this. You know, they started by admonishing, shaming people who signed over to Live. They're going for the cash. This is ridiculous. It's like bending to a dictator, right? An American journalist goes over there, gets murdered, nothing happens. You state this, you shame people for going, and then about a year later, you say, "Oh, you know what? The bag is now heavy enough for us to bend to the knee." Not to get too political, but an enemy of the U.S. Basically, number one oil supplier of the world, but they're an enemy of the U.S. Right? It's shameful. It's shameful. That's all I got to say about it.
I mean, the president, he did say he knew he was going to get pushback from it, so he was prepared. But yeah, reading about it, he had not so nice things to say prior to this merger. So it was very, I don't want to say interesting, but very odd. But I'll keep it there because I don't know. I'm reporting the news. That's what I'm doing. I'm reporting the news. But do you have anything else to add in our rundown, Danny?
In the rundown, I don't think so. Not off the top of my head.
Alrighty then. Are you ready to wrap up this present?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, everybody. Thank you for listening to Rambling Runoff. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. If you're listening on Spotify, rate us 5 stars. If you're on Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, we really appreciate you guys taking the time to hear us out. I know we mumble. I mean, that's what we're called, Rambling Runoff. But if you want to hear more from us, you can follow us on our socials, Twitter, Instagram, sometimes TikTok. Hit us up at Rambling Runoff on all our socials, okay? And if you're really that extreme, find us on Reddit as well. Just look up Rambling Runoff. You'll find us. But yeah, that's everything we got. I've been your host, Robert Rios. For my co-host, Danny Tan. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Woo.